Hello friends, I am Chintan Joshi from Nalanda Vidyalay, Virpar Morbi, and today in this subject Business Studies, we are going to discuss chapter number 2, Principles of Management, and our today's topic is Fayol's Principles of Management. Friends, actually we have completed total 6 principles by Fayol in earlier 2 days discussion, and today on the third day we are going to start our discussion with principle number 7. Highlight for the today's discussion, we are going to discuss principle number 7, remuneration of employees, principle number 8, centralization and decentralization, principle number 9, scalar chain. Let me start with principle number 7, remuneration of employees. Basically, each and every employees are working in an organization to earn something which can satisfy their needs and wants, where in another aspect each and every organization are providing employment to generate maximum outputs from them and to achieve the common organizational objectives of that company. Now over here the Fayol says that the overall pay and compensation should be fair for both employees and organization. The employees should be paid fair wages which should give them at least a reasonable standard of living. At the same time, it should be within the paying capacity of the company in the aspect of employment. In other words, remuneration should be just and equitable. It means remuneration should be like such an amount which can satisfy the living standard of employees, as well as it should be in a paying capacity of the company. This will ensure friendly atmosphere and good relations between workers and management. As a result, the working of the company would be smooth. So, in the 7th principle by Fayol, remuneration of employees indicates that employers should pay such amount which can satisfy the livelihood of employees, as well as employees must demand such a remuneration which is under the capacity of the company. So it will be a fair remuneration for both of them. Discussing about 7th principle of Fayol, remuneration of employees, let me have highlight in detail with next topic, that is centralization and decentralization. Basically, what the concept mean? There are two keywords, that is centralization and decentralization. Let me understand first of all these two keywords. First one, centralization. The concentration of decision making authority is called centralization, whereas its dispersal among more than one person is known decentralization. According to Fayol, there is a need to balance subordinate involvement through decentralization with managers' retention of final authority through centralization. Let me discuss first of all about these two things. गाइस, बेसिकली सेंट्रलाइजेशन क्या होगा? एक ही आदमी के पास डिसीजन मेकिंग अथॉरिटी का होना वो सेंट्रलाइजेशन कहलाएगा। और वही अथॉरिटी को एक से ज़्यादा लोगों के बीच में, पर्सन के बीच में डिस्पर्स करना, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना, वो डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन कहा जाएगा। अगर मान लो कोई एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और वहाँ पर अकेले एक आदमी के पास सारी अथॉरिटी है, तो क्या वो वक्त पे सारे डिसीज़न ले पाएगा? क्या वो हर जगह पे हर टास्क को एक साथ देख पाएगा? कई बार वो पॉसिबल नहीं होता है, और इसीलिए डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन ऑफ अथॉरिटी का होना भी उतना ज़रूरी हो गया है। से फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, सीईओ अगर सारे डिपार्टमेंट की चीज़ खुद देखेगा तो पॉसिबल नहीं होगा कि ऑन द राइट टाइम ही कैन टेक ऑल द डिसीजंस, so that he is dividing his authority for decision making among different departmental heads. Say for example, for production department there will be production manager to take decision about the production department. The same way for the marketing department, marketing manager, finance department, finance manager, HR department, HR manager, and likewise. So there is a concept about the centralization and decentralization in the principles given by the Fayol, that in an organization each and every department should be distributed some authority to take advantage of decentralization. Now the question is about the degree level of this centralization and decentralization. So Fayol says that the degree level of centralization and decentralization should be balanced one, so that the person who is given authority cannot misuse his powers, as well as it becomes not independent as well. But it should be balanced that whenever he is in need to take some decisions, he can use appropriate authority. The degree of centralization will depend upon the circumstances in which the company is working. In general, large organizations have more decentralization than small organization. और ऐसा इसलिए होता है क्योंकि स्मॉल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो ऑनर है वो हर चीज़ों को देख पाएगा, उसको संभाल पाएगा, जबकि अगर वो लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है तो ऑनर का हर जगह पे पहुंचना पॉसिबल शायद ना हो, इसलिए वहाँ पर डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन का होना ज़्यादा अहमियत रखेगा। इंडियन सिस्टम का एग्जाम्पल दिया है अपनी बुक में। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पंचायत्स in our country have been given more powers to decide and spend funds granted to them by the government for the welfare of the villages, and this is the best decentralization example at national level. So after seeing the principle number 8, centralization and decentralization, let we move to the principle number 9, that is scalar chain. In each and every organization there is a hierarchy level of superiors and subordinate, and which is required for the communication aspect. An organization consists of subordinates and supervisors level. The formal line of authority from highest to the lowest rank are known as scalar chain. Say for example, from the top level CEO to down level at bottom level supervisors, the authority from highest level to the lowest level in rank will be known as scalar chain. According to the Fayol, organization should have a chain of authority and communication so that can run from top to bottom and should be followed by managers and the subordinates. Let me have the explanations by the diagram with details. In a diagram, we can see that there is a triangle shape hierarchy. Let us consider a situation where there is a one head called as A who have two lines of authority under him. First line starting from A, that is a head, and consisting with B, C, D, E and F as their subordinate. In the another hand, we are assuming line with their subordinates under the head A, L, M, N, O, P. If E has to communicate with O, E is on our left hand hierarchy line, whereas O is our right hand on the hierarchy line. And now if E wants to communicate with O, he has to communicate through a medium through D, C, B, A, L, M, N, O. This pattern of communication will be called as a scalar chain. This is due to the principle of scalar chain being followed in this situation. According to the Fayol, this chain should not be violated in the normal course of formal communication. However, if there is an emergency, then E can directly contact to O. We are seeing the medium line that will be called as a gangplank. We are seeing in the diagram, right? This is a shorter route and has been provided so that communication is not delayed. In practice, we are finding that normally a worker cannot directly contact to the CEO of the company, and if it is required, then gangplank, the shortest route of communication, will be used. If at all he or she has to, then all the formal level, that is foreman, superintendent, manager, director, etc. have to know about the matter. So if a laborer wants to contact CEO, he has to pass the channel of foreman, that is his superior authority, foreman to superintendent, that is his superior authority, superintendent to the particular divisional manager, that is his superior authority, and then manager to the director, and then director to the CEO. So labor cannot directly contact to the CEO of that company. So it is all about because of scalar chain communication principle. So hope with this you are clear with today's 3 principle. We are going to discuss rest of the principle in the next session. Till any query, please feel free to ask me. Thank you.